You guys, this is a slight side note, but you must, as actors, which are basically proto-cognitive behavioral psychologists, you have to get so adept at understanding people's top and bottom, irony, point, counterpoint, and behavior, and what's going on inside, and why they're actually doing what they're doing and how they're doing it, that at a certain point, you know, like I say, you no longer really can enjoy movies because you can't help but be analyzing the scene and looking for the scene analysis, and you're like, okay, here we are, this is 2A to B, so we're in the negative part of the thing, so the counterpoint is this, so there's going to be a major realization at this point, so she's going to jail. She's going to jail. That was right, you know? And you sort of like, you get that kind of, and then you're studying the actors, and you know, I watched American Gangster for the first time. I can't believe I've never seen that movie, and you know, it's an extraordinary film, but I can't stop thinking about how Russell Crowe is beta to Denzel's alpha, and how interesting that is, because Denzel can't do beta, but Russell Crowe can do both, and the counterpoint point of the two characters, and I'm studying the whole thing, I'm like, I just enjoy this movie, you know? I think the same thing happens, unfortunately, for life. I think at a certain point, I'm far out of that whole dating game stuff, but at a certain point when I'm talking to people, I go, oh, this is not really about me, this is about your obsessive need to feel better about yourself and assuage your fears and such, and then if I have to tell you guys, you have to educate yourselves to, there's a certain power that you have to become that way. You have to get to a point where when you're talking to people, you're really reading their behavior. There's a bunch of corollary effects to that. One is you become incredibly good at character, because you're studying character. Two is you reflect that back on yourself and go, how do I do that kind of thing? But three is, you'll end up having better friends. Because the people you start hanging out with are the people who are clear and open and who don't do that to you. You watch Russell Crowe and Denzel Washington because they're good friends. Because when you watch them on the screen, you do get carried away by the story and you don't see the strings of their work, so you want to watch them. Whereas, you know, you watch them, you know, standard W network television show or whatever, and you go, oh, I can't watch this because all I can see is all the strings of the acting. You see what I'm saying? So in some ways, you got to get that way. Good.